Marvel Zombies is here, and this show went darker than I ever expected. From brutal deaths, to favorite heroes coming back, to Wanda setting up what could be the creepiest season 2 yet. This one's got people talking, but was it Marvel's best animated project so far that they've done? Or did it fall short of expectations? Let's sit back, roll the intro, and break it down on my thoughts. First off, let's talk about the pros of Marvel Zombies. Let's get the first one clear out of the way. It brought back a lot of our fan favorite heroes from Phase 4. It brought back characters such as Kate Bishop, Riri Williams, Namor, Shang-Chi, Kamala Khan, etc. back in action, and all played by their respective actors and actresses. Now, one of these highlights for me of these dynamics that they brought was the team of Ironheart, Kate Bishop, and Kamala. Now, these three, even though it was short-lived, I love them very much so. Their chemistry was amazing. I would love to see more of this, but of course, they kind of got, it's not even fair to say Thanos snap, they got eviscerated very fast. And now Marvel, you did this on purpose because you guys are teasing us with more Young Avengers information, right? Last time that I did a video, I said, where's the Young Avengers project? Reports come out that Kate Bishop is going to be leading that team. Then you drop this, and now I'm just like, where is the green light, ladies and gentlemen? But you know what? Be patient, and I'm here for it. Now, in addition to this, another thing that I really enjoyed seeing, even though there was no talking, was seeing T'Challa. T'Challa coming back was such an emotional core. Hearing Peter narrate, him saying under his, T'Challa saying under his breath quietly, Wakanda forever, as he takes a last-ditch effort to defeat Thanos. The Wakandan battle music, it hit the feels. And honestly, for technically this being the last appearance of the Chadwick Boseman T'Challa, to go out killing Thanos, even though Thanos is killed by everybody post-Endgame, that is probably the best way to go out for that version of T'Challa. I am here for it, I respect it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for what's next. Now, I also really enjoyed a lot of these zombies had their respective abilities. So Hawkeye zombie could still shoot a bow and arrow accurately, Captain America still had the super soldier serum, Namor was still the ruler of the oceans, Thor, spoiler alert, was still the god of thunder, Ant-Man, etc. It was all really interesting because when you look at other zombie products like The Walking Dead or The Last of Us, they're not even actually, no shots, they're not zombies. I'll just use The Walking Dead for example. They're just brain dead zombies. You know, they don't know any better, they don't think, they just move, eat, and kill. These Marvel zombies were completely different, and I appreciate how they did that. Let's see, what else did we have? Oh, some of the interesting things which can kind of be a con, but it's also going to be a pro. I'm going to touch on it in both sections. Okoye minus Wanda was the only zombie that could talk. I think that was cool because Denai was in The Walking Dead, and now she's in this, even though it wasn't her, it was her character. To have her go from The Walking Dead to now her character is a zombie is funny, and it's the only one that can talk, which is interesting, which we'll get to in the cons. Let's see. Oh, another thing that they did was they made each zombie feel terrifying in their own way, which I think the most terrifying zombie, Namor. Without a shadow of a doubt, he was the most threatening zombie minus Wanda and Thor. Mainly because the idea of fighting an undead Thor is terrifying, and then Wanda just proves that she's an amazing villain. Elizabeth Olsen delivered for that. And then also the deaths. The deaths in this were oh my god. I mean, it was for animation, but holy crap. Talk about brutal, descriptive, and they're going to be etched into my brain forever. Holy shit. But to talk about maybe some more lighter stuff, some things that I personally liked, some fight sequences like Blade Knight versus Ghost. Even though it was in the trailer, it still looked absolutely badass. him as a character in general was amazing. He was one of the standout performances. Spider-Man ripping all the heads off of the zombies, which again was shown in the trailer, epic. Throwing Stormbreaker at Thanos, epic. Even though it got destroyed a second later, it was still cool. It was visually, I loved it. Everything about it was absolutely amazing. But now we gotta talk about the cons. I think no better way to talk about the cons than start off with Okoye. Like I said, it's cool that she was the only zombie that could talk, but I don't understand why she was the only one that talked. Like, I don't think that was ever explained. I just wish, like, Thor could have talked. I don't think his mouth was ripped off. But that's just me. Another con that I had was, it was too short. It was 4 episodes, half an hour long. The reason why is because Brad Winderbaum said that they wanted to use Spider-Man, and because of that, they had to make it animation, and they had to make it at half an hour. Fun fact for you, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, I mean, this should have been more than 4 episodes. I wish it could have been a longer series, like 40 to 50 minutes. It had a chance to be live action, but they really wanted to use Spider-Man, and I respect that. And I also don't think you could have done this as good in live action. It would have been awesome, but with animation, you get a little bit more leeway. So that's cool. Let's see. I also don't like that they dropped everything all at once. Like, it was a nice binge watch, but I've grown to like the week-to-week watching. It really just depends on the show. So, I mean, the week-to-week help builds hype and conversation amongst fans, but, you know, it is what it is. It worked for Echo, so. Oh, yeah, this is another one I didn't really like. Katie from Shang-Chi. I like her as a character. She's a great I don't even want to say sidekick. She's a great Robin to Shang-Chi's Batman. But her having half of the 10 rings, I did not like. It didn't work for me. I get it, she needed a way to fight in the zombie apocalypse. It just was not it for me, Chief. And also the choices of killing off Riri, Kate, Yelena, a lot of these characters so quickly, it didn't sit well with me. But it is zombies, and if shows like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones have taught you anything, do not have a favorite character, because they're not going to make it past the season. Let's see, what else do we got here? Some stuff also didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, if in the 616 universe, Hulk was able to wield the stones, but in doing so, it ruined his entire arm when he snapped, how could this Hulk essentially take on the infinity radiation, channel it into his body, and still be able to be him? Not him, but like be a being that's alive. That didn't really make any sense to me. Also, if he'd taken the infinity radiation, then by logic, you would think that he would have all power. And if he has all power, then this horde of zombies that Wanda grabbed should be a cakewalk for him. It didn't. And I kind of wish it would have made more sense. They would have given an explanation on why he couldn't have been able to use that power. It just felt inconsistent. That's just how I look at it. And then there's Wanda. Wanda was great. My only gripe with her, why did she want Kamala Khan? What did Kamala have that Wanda wanted? It could have been her bangles, I think is what she calls them, her bracelets that her grandma gave her. Could it have been her powers? Could it have been that she has the X gene? There was no definitive explanation, and I couldn't even give you a guess on why she needed her. Maybe that would be answered in season 2, which is a perfect segue into my takeaways. Now, when they did the show, they said there was just going to be 1 season, but they made it clear that depending on how the audience reacted, they would consider doing a 2nd season. And Brad Winderbaum has the head of Marvel's TV, has said that they are really considering doing a second season. And with the way that this season ended, that's almost a guarantee. Like, I don't think they ever meant for this to be one season. There's no way. And I think obviously we're going to see season 2, and I don't know what's going to happen. We could talk about, we could hopefully find more information on why Wanda needed Kamala. Maybe we'll get more information on more heroes being alive. Maybe there'll be a cure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe X-Men or Fantastic Four and stuff like that from other universes could come in. That would be cool. Another takeaway that I had was Icarus from the Eternals. Obviously, we know the Eternals are strong, but him going toe-to-toe with Captain Marvel, albeit she is a zombie, but going toe-to-toe and there not being a definitive winner, I think that really showcases his strength, and I believe the Eternals should have more respect on their name. I think that kind of covers just about the last thing. When season 2 comes out, drop it in October. We're a week away. Why did this come out in September? Zombies are Halloween. September is not Halloween. Make it make sense. So my rating, to wrap this all up, I've given this a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's probably the best Marvel animation project they've done since 97. I love the Zombies episode of What If, so this is probably, I have high expectations for this. I can't wait to see more of this kind of content. It's dark, fun, brutal for Marvel. It's dark, fun, and brutal. You got to keep that in mind. It sets a stage for a lot more to come, but maybe leaving a little bit more on your plate. So with that being said, let me know in the comments what you guys think of Marvel's Zombies. All 4 episodes streaming now on Disney+. Did it live up to the hype for you guys? Did it fall short of expectations? Let me know. And while you're there, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe with your friends for more content. Until next time, this has been the Geek Takeover, and I'm signing off, ladies and gentlemen. Down to stop production.